Pregame.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Pregame.tv for the weekend. We've got college basketball on Saturday, the matchup in the ACC between Miami, Florida and NC State. This game tips off 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's one of the CBS games. Check your locations for that one. Lorenzo Brown, the latest news, Marco, the NC State point guard, and a fine one at that, is doubtful for this game because of an ankle injury. In fact, there's been some talk that he might miss a few games, so be sure to check the website for that all throughout Saturday before tip-off. If that happens, if Lorenzo Brown misses this game, then all of a sudden you're moving Rodney Purvis from the wing to the point. Other guys have to step up. Miami is a 1-point favorite in this one. It opened pick'em in most spots. As soon as the news came out about Brown, the Miami Hurricanes became the short favorite, total 134.5.
I mean, this Miami, Florida team, what can you say? They're playing great basketball. And you look at this game, I like NC State prior to that injury. Like you said, it changes the whole dynamic of the game. But NC State in their last game, they came up 3 points short at Virginia. And they were plus 3.5. So if you're a bettor, they did what you needed them to do. They covered the spread, got the money, and that was a bad spot for them. I'm this situational guy because they were coming off of a big win last Saturday against North Carolina. That's their biggest rival. I know North Carolina's not having the year that they normally have, but still, for NC State to beat North Carolina, that's huge for them. And for them to go out on the road, which should have been a flat spot, they played a Virginia team very tough. So I'm kind of impressed with this NC State team. And the last thing I'll say before I kick it back to you, when I used to think of NC State, immediately in my head, I would think of a game in the low 60s that this team would play. That's not this style of basketball anymore for NC State. They can hang up an 80 on you real quick, and I like what they're doing there.
Yeah, quicker tempo now that Sidney Lowe's gone. They got the new coach in place for a couple of years now. And then you've got Jim Larrañaga for Miami. Here's the thing about the Miami Hurricanes. This is a team that a lot of people thought, Marco, were going to drop off after the big 27-point win over Duke. They thought they'd have a flat spot against Florida State. That was their rival. They handle Florida State with pretty much ease. I went against them the next time out. I thought the game in Blacksburg, which fell between Florida State and this game, was a letdown spot for Miami. It started that way. But if you had Virginia Tech, you either pushed or you won +9 or up to as high as 10 as the day moved on. But that was impressive in itself to me. Not that Virginia Tech has any great shakes, but that the Miami Hurricanes were able to stay focused, and after a slow start, were able to end up winning that game by 9 points in Blacksburg. Anyway, let's get to this one. This one is my free pick, and let's make it official. Like what's going on at NC State, I'm going to back him here despite Lorenzo Brown likely not playing in this game. I think for at least this one game, you're going to see the team come together. Rodney Purvis going to take to his new role if he has to move over to the point. And you know how it goes. We've talked about this for many years on radio and on these videos, that when a good team loses a player, usually that first time out, everybody picks up the slack and makes up for it. Listen, Miami, by the way, they've got 5 players between 14 points per game and 10 points per game. This is a legitimate national title contender. Here's what's great is Andy Isco the other night on First Preview Radio told us about his ticket he got on Miami after they beat Duke. How about 100-1 to win the national title? They've got a chance this year, but I think NC State's going to catch them in this one. NC State, my free pick. And when we come back, we move to the Big Ten. Michigan, Indiana, primetime national TV. We'll talk about that one in just a moment.